Hello everybody, today we are visiting the Road to Nowhere. Back in the 30s and 40s, this area of North Carolina, Swain County, gave up a lot of its private land to the federal government so that they can create this Lake Montana, and that was going to be created with the construction of a dam. This dam was going to be producing electricity for some aluminum plants in Tennessee. Well, there was a town where this lake was supposed to be created, and the residents were all displaced from that town. The federal government promised them that they would create a road going around the lake, this Lakeview Drive. And as they were beginning constructions, they came across some environmental issues that they deemed way too expensive to deal with. So they just completely stopped construction. And it was kind of a broken promise to these residents that were already kicked out of their homes and out of their town in order for them to build this lake. So it's kind of an unfortunate situation. But this road that we're on here, and you can see where there's some poles out there in the distance. You can't drive any further past that. But this was that road. And since they just stopped construction on it, it doesn't go anywhere. So that's why they call it the Road to Nowhere. But there is a tunnel up this way that we're going to walk through. Apparently it gets pretty dark in there. And from what I understand, there may be some old homesteads and things like that past that. I know there's a relatively short hiking trail. At least that's what I read. But we're going to go over there and check it out, and we'll pick up when we get there. There are 4 trails up here. Lakeshore Trail. It looks like there's a Lakeview Drive tunnel, which is right here. That's 0.1 of a mile. I mean, you can actually see it right there. The Tunnel Bypass Trail, which is 0.6 of a mile. White Oak Branch Trail, 2 miles, and Forney Creek Trail, which is 3 miles. So here we are coming up to the entrance of this tunnel. This is just part of the road that was supposed to be going to that to the lake and around the lake. But yeah, it looks like it's a pretty decent sized tunnel. It's got to be a couple hundred feet. It looks like there's graffiti. Some of the local artistes came apparently and put their graffiti along it. It's chilly in here. Oh, you're supposed to be able to hear people like talking all the way through the tunnel. Can you hear that?
What are we listening for?
Nothing. You can just hear like long distances.
Hello.
How about Ricola? Really?
This is cool. Look at all this graffiti. What's it say? Can you show me? Sorry.
That flashlight battery isn't. It's not very bright, is it?
Don't pay them in mine. Here. What do you want to film?
It's whatever. Look at that dog. It's kind of cool.
I died away. I have a good.
Look at that stuff. I want to point the flashlight up there on the. I wonder what that stuff is.
It's like some kind of growing moss or something.
I don't know what that is.
Here. Where is it? One day they'll change. Yeah, that's weird stuff, isn't it? That mossy stuff?
You wouldn't think it would be white, but maybe because it's dark most of the time.
Chris and my mom down there. So head back down here on the other side and we'll take off up the road here a little bit further. Try to catch one of those trails. I would like to see if we can see some of those homesteads. From what I understood, they're you can see, I don't know if it's maybe just the foundations or what it is supposedly you could see up there, but we'll just cruise up the way here and see what we can find. So just shortly past the tunnel, by maybe, I don't know, 200-300 feet, the road pretty much ends and it turns into a trail. So we're just cruising along the trail up here to see what we see. Hear the people back there screaming in the tunnel. The echo in the tunnel is pretty impressive. It's kind of cool.
It's amazing how many butterflies are out here.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Hello.
Hi. Should have. That's a good idea.
I'm glad we came to see it. It was a decent place to come check out. Unfortunately, I thought there was going to be a lot more to it. I thought there would be, some other things to see, but in this particular case, it was just the tunnel for the most part, and then some trails at the end of it. So once you got through the tunnel, I mean, that was pretty much the only interesting part of it. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad we came. Now we're gonna see if we can go check out this Clingmans Dome, which is an overlook that's supposed to be pretty impressive. So we'll go check that out and we'll pick up when we get there. So this is on the road up to the road to nowhere. We're actually on our way back now, but we passed this on the way up and thought maybe we would stop and get the photo op. But isn't that beautiful out there? See those mountains so far out there, and then there's like, I wonder if that's part of that Fontana Lake, like just a leg of it.
No, it's some creek, or it's a river.
Oh, well, it's pretty out there.
Next, we're headed to Clingmans Dome, which is a huge observation tower up here in the Great Smokies. So we'll see you there.
Well, about a quarter mile back that way is the parking lot to Clingmans Dome Observation Tower. And they said it's about a half a mile hike to the tower. And a gentleman who I've been trying to keep pace with told me that he read online that the grade is 11. It fluctuates between 11 and 15% the entire half mile. So it is uphill like a climb to get up here. I think I may be about 3/4 of the way up, but it's been a challenge. And I've had to take 4 or 5 different breaks on the way up here. Just stop for a minute or two to catch my breath, but I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but that's going up. If you can look at the incline of the plants, it's going up. So hopefully it won't be too much farther before we get to the top here.
Or not. Okay.
From the view from here so far, it looks like it's going to be pretty spectacular when we get up there. I'll pick up when I get to the top. Okay, I've made it to the top. This is this is where Clingmans Dome is. I'll show you the observation tower. It's right there. So looks like it's a cement circular walkway that gets you up to the top.
Let me see it. It's not as deep as what you think. Oh, okay. Are you guys gonna come up with us?
So let's head my way up here. Today I'm with my mom and Chris, but Chris came about 3/4 of the way. She couldn't make it. My mom decided to call it quits too, because again, coming up this grade, 11 to 15%, is definitely a challenge. But this part isn't so bad. It's not quite as steep.
Rocking her to sleep. Wind whispers in the trees. Hidden secrets are hard to keep. Sunset in golden fields. Goddess warrior and a queen. Lost the battle. Secrets are hard to keep. She's still waiting, holding on through the night. She's still waiting, wishing time could make it right. She is waiting, dawn is bringing morning light. She's waiting to end this fight.
Well, that was cool. I'm glad I came up here. This is an awesome place. Headed back down the ramp now.
And the Appalachian Trail doesn't intersect right there. Yeah, I mean, we would have gained that altitude.
One other thing I noticed up here too is these pine trees that are here. They're very dark in color. And they've got like these pine cone things on them, but I've never seen a pine tree quite like that before. And coming down the mountains, I'll see if I can get, well, you can kind of see how on the mountain over there they're really dark. And there seems to be like patches of them, like I don't know if you call it a grove, but like patches of them. At first I thought it was cloud cover causing shadows on the side of the mountain, but it's not. It's just big clusters of these really dark pine trees. So there's the dome up there. There's the circular ramp that gets up to it. And it looks like right over there, it comes out, there's a trail that comes out here and continues on right here. And this is the famous Appalachian Trail. This thing runs hundreds and hundreds of miles. I think it goes from Georgia to Maine. It's a long trail. I'll have to hike some of it one of these days. Not that much, but another thing I wanted to add too is not only is the trail kind of a steep grade coming up here, like I mentioned before, 11 to 15% on average, but we are way at the top of these mountains, and I know that air has got to be thin up here, so it doesn't make hiking up in these altitudes very easy. Because, I mean, we're at the top of these mountains. It's beautiful. This is part of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, which is, this place actually, I was seeing a sign that's about 15 miles, if I'm not mistaken. It's about 15 miles outside of Gatlinburg, which is a place that I've always wanted to go. But it's a little bit later in the afternoon. I don't think we're going to have the time to make it into Gatlinburg today, but Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge are two little towns that are down there in the valley that we're going to have to hit one of these days. I believe Dollywood is right there, and I've always wanted to go to Dollywood, so. These super dark pine trees are tripping me out, man. I mean, look at that one. It almost looks like it's black. But it's not. It's just a very deep green color. I'm seeing a sign here that says Spruce Fur Forest Community. So I guess those things are spruce firs. It says here, many hardwood trees that flourish at lower elevations and the plants and animals associated with them could not survive up here. Along the trail to Clingmans Dome, look for hardy members of the spruce fir community. That's got to be, if you look out here again, I'll show it again. As you can see, it's kind of a light green out there on the hill, but then you've got all these dark colored trees, which I believe to be what that sign has said, spruce firs. There's a close-up of one right here.
Maybe you could pull over right there like those people did.
Looks like there's a couple of elk grazing on the side of the highway here.
So cute.
Yeah, it's like they have no idea that there's traffic and cars around.
I didn't know they looked so much like horses.
How cool is that?
They are so cute. Even if it's black, it's okay, right? Hi. How are you? Hello. Hi.
How cool is that?
Moon is watching shallow dreams. Night is rocking.